With broadband speeds becoming more commonplace, getting video content from the internet has become more of a reality. The only problem, of course, is watching videos on your computer, which is a lean forward activity instead of your television, which is leaning back. Yes, we're talking about the movements of your body. You could bring your PC to the living room, but an easier solution would be a network media tank, or an NMT. Essentially, an NMT is a small computer hooked up to your TV, which can stream videos and music or display pictures from the internet or your PC, or even play back digital content stored on its own hard drive or an external USB device. Aside from the lower power consumption, it has also the additional advantage of being quieter, a must if it is to be integrated into your home theater setup. And one of the most popular NMT devices available in the Philippines is Popcorn Hour, which has received favorable reviews from gadget blogs and tech magazines. Here to talk to us about his own experience with the device is Adel, head of copy for ABS-CBN Publishing and tech reviewer for the Philippine Daily Inquirer, and he brought along his newest baby. Good morning, Adel.
Good morning.
Good
Hi.
morning.
Hi.
How have you been? Long time no see.
Yeah, last time I was here, I wasn't Kapamilya, but I am
Yeah,
now.
now you're Kapamilya, so welcome officially.
Yeah, it's been
all
half
right.
a year though.
And just a few days ago, just to let you people all know, Adel texted me and said he's sharing his joy about his newest toy. So I couldn't help but want to see it myself. I've heard about the Popcorn Hour. I haven't seen it in the flesh. Before you bought it, what did you hear about it and what made you want to try it out?
Well, it's always a hassle just using all the stuff connected to the monitor. You have to have your computer, you have to have all these gadgets. But this new device puts everything in one little box. That you can do almost anything and everything related to multimedia.
Right, and you know, there's some people who would say, I don't mind clutter, I don't mind putting things there kasi nakakatipid. And I would have thought that too before you actually told me about the power consumption difference, because there's some people who have, let's say, a small PC or a Mac Mini, and then they just hook up a keyboard whenever they need to, and then it just hooked up to the TV and a wireless mouse. So it's not cluttersome as much would think, but with this device, apparently there's a difference in power?
Yeah, if you open it up, it's really tiny. There's a little PCB inside, a board, and then that's it. And then when you run it, sometimes you don't think it's even on. It's so silent, and there's just a light that blinks that shows you it's running. But it just consumes like 20 watts of power.
Compared to a computer would be?
If you're using a computer to do all these things, anywhere upwards of 600 watts.
Really?
Yes.
That much of a difference?
Yes, that much.
Wow. And when you think of that, I mean, when you told me those numbers, it made me realize it's because the computer is not meant for, you know, digital media only.
Right.
I mean, it can do that, but it's meant for so much more, hence the power consumption.
That's right.
Even if it's on standby.
Yeah, a lot of stuff in there isn't meant to be used with what you're doing at the moment. So everything else is running and costing you money.
Right.
Yeah.
So in other words, this is a stripped down device that's really just bare to the bones for media.
Yes,
and
exactly.
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's a processor, it's got video and audio decoders, everything, but nothing of the external stuff that is useless when you're just watching video.
And let's show it now. Actually, we do have it sitting right beside Adel, and he's actually beside a nice big plasma screen also, where we can show. He just chose some content he has on his hard drive.
Yeah, this is the swimsuit edition of SI.
Sports Illustrated. Can we talk more about this rather than the device? No, I'm kidding. All right, the device is there on the ground, on the table, on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm distracted. And there it is, the Popcorn Hour. It's that small. It looks like my shoe.
Yeah, it's actually
like
very light. Without the hard drive inside, it's very light, and it's the hard drive that I placed in there weighs 3 times as much as the actual unit itself.
Okay, so it comes without a hard drive.
Yes, that's the caveat.
What's the logic with that?
Well, it keeps the price down, and it lets you determine how much storage you'd like to put in there.
Unlike other NMTs out there, let's say, for example, the Apple TV, you only have a choice of 40 gig and 160 gig.
Yes.
At least this one, you can get whatever gigabyte capacity you want.
Yeah, it uses SATA or IDE drives, and if you buy, like, let's say, a Tera internal drive, the same ones you use for a computer, a desktop computer, just put it in there, and that's your storage already.
Or can you even just use external USB
Yes,
devices?
there are USB ports in front and in the back as well.
So
and you can just connect, let's say, a little external hard disk that uses USB. You can connect it there. That becomes your storage.
So people visiting you at home with their, you know, flash disks or their key cards and say, "Hey, Adele, I brought you the next video of ganyan." And
yeah, or a photo album. It also does photo it does audio, it does streaming. If you connect it to the net, it does streaming video. You can watch news from all over the world, programs and everything. It's all there.
One interesting thing is interface. A lot of there are a good number of these devices out there. Apple is heavily advertised and heavily used by Apple users. Popcorn Hour is heavily advertised in the U.S. also. There's some other devices not so known, but you know, when people start talking about them, they talk about interface and ease of use.
Yes.
How easy is this to use? How did you like the interface? And we can go through it because you have the remote control.
Yes, it's run by remote control.
Okay.
Actually, if you can show this on screen, it's basically very easy to. Oh, I better stop the video first. And that's all that it is. You can choose your media sources.
All right.
So in this particular case, you have the hard disk. You can connect via FTP or you can connect to your system if you're online.
Okay.
Like a LAN at home.
In your local network?
Whatever's there.
Wi-Fi or wired? Okay.
Wi-Fi. Well, Wi-Fi you need an additional gadget because this is wired only.
All right, all right.
Anything in the house.
But for example, you're wired up to your Wi-Fi router.
Yes.
Which means you're connected to everything else that's on Wi-Fi.
Right.
Right, okay.
Yes, and anything in the house that's connected to the LAN can be accessed in this menu. So if you have some video file on your laptop and it's here, you can see it here. Connect it there and watch it on your big video player.
Anything, but I'm sure that can be done with PC files. What about files, media files on a Mac?
That's the nice thing about this device because it plays almost everything out there.
Any format.
Any format. And the nice part is the manufacturers update the firmware every so often, adding more codecs.
Wow.
So that
even the newest trend of, which is called MKV, right?
Yes.
It plays
actually,
MKV.
that thing we were watching was on MKV.
Was an MKV. And it was actually an HD file. It's unfortunate we don't have an HD cable. But that was an HD file.
Yeah, but it connects to your monitor via an HDMI cable.
All right.
Or you can choose between a component or an RCA composite connection.
All right.
And it does all of that. So you just have one big monitor and you can play anything in the house that's connected.
So that's what network browser is.
Yes.
So basically you just go through whatever is the content on any computer in the network.
Yeah, for example, you have a relative coming over who came from abroad, has an album of his pictures there on a USB drive. Just stick it in the front. You can watch it here.
Wow.
You can actually have, web services are nice because it allows you to do all these things. The service portal allows you to watch content from the internet streaming. And anything on the net you can watch here. You can also...
You mean anything on the net?
Well,
I mean, these are usually videos you see embedded in their websites, like let's say CNN is streaming video.
You can.
Or NBC or
it's kind of convoluted to do that, but they have a service that actually it's like Hulu. Or even some service.
You mean Popcorn Hour as a service?
They have their own.
They have their own,
Yeah, and you can add to it if you want to. And then you can also have, there's a community it's like a forum for users of this thing, international. You have the ability to actually torrent things here. That's one nice side effect of this thing.
And so meaning it can download torrents on its own not needing a computer then transfer the file.
No, you just source the torrent file, put it in there and let it run. And if it runs, let's say, the whole day, it's using 20 watts.
Only 20 watts.
There's no
If you open
big
up
deal.
that torrent, I know we're not connected to the internet now. Do you have, will the interface show what it looks like to search?
If you're torrenting, here's just for purposes of evaluation. Here's a sample of what can be torrented. If it's connected, you can see the transmit and receive speeds here and how far you've come. And, you can actually fill this up and queue up everything you want and forget about it.
And just for the sake of disclaiming, there are legal torrent portals out there, and there are not so legal, which are arguable in countries like us that don't have laws about it. So it's up to it's up to you guys how you see it, really.
It's all gray.
Yeah, it's all gray. It's all gray for now. And but if you do a lot of these things, this is one device that will be really helpful, you'd say?
Yes, actually, if you love watching stuff, this is the gadget for you. It takes away all the excess equipment that costs money to buy and to use.
Do you have other stuff on there? Do you have pictures also aside from your videos?
Actually, yes.
Censored pictures, we hope?
Well, no. I took them out before I brought it here.
Okay.
You can do audio here. You can just download like songs from the net.
Right.
Although it does not play DRM material.
Okay, okay.
I think the manufacturers made sure so it won't be accused of, encouraging
how nice
piracy.
of them. Even though they allow torrent files.
Oh, yes.
Interestingly.
And you can also look at pictures here, slideshows. For example, this came with a swimsuit edition.
Oh, it did. Oh, interesting.
So photos.
What a complete package.
Yes, it's all there by one download.
So these are stills.
Yeah, they're stills.
Okay.
Sometimes the interface takes a little bit of time to
load it up.
To load it up.
Why? Is it because it comes in a slideshow? There they go. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can just scroll through the pictures.
Okay.
That's an example. You can also.
And that's cheating. That's not a swimsuit. That's body paint.
That's body paint.
Okay.
That's one example.
All right.
Other stuff. Well, it's
but the interface looks fairly easy to use. It's just back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah,
How about typing, though? I'm looking at the remote control. It has letters like a cell phone.
It's like texting.
Okay, can you show maybe you can zoom in direct on this remote control. And I'm surprised to see letters on it. Up here. There you go. There's A, B, C for number 2. It's like texting.
But you don't really need this.
You don't. But what if you're like searching for a file?
Connect the USB keyboard to the front.
Okay. Oh, there's a USB keyboard that comes with it, or any USB keyboard?
Any USB keyboard.
So it doesn't come with it, but any USB keyboard. So to save you time of pressing the buttons, but you can use that.
You can use this if you have a mind for it. But
okay.
You can just connect the USB keyboard and use it like a computer.
Okay. Interesting. And I understand there's actually there's a local arm selling this?
Yes, there is. You can find it in stores, although it's usually out of stock. Everyone's buying this.
Okay.
This is actually the first model that came out, the A100. The A110 is much better because it can use SATA drives.
Okay.
This one uses IDE. And there's an extra USB port at the back for people who like to connect other, stuff they don't want to disconnect on a regular basis.
All right. With internet speeds nowadays, Adel, would you say this is something that would be a must for people who really do a lot of media viewing online, whatever brand of an NMT they'll use?
Yeah, because nowadays the shift is going towards online. You have services like Hulu that stream TV shows on the day they're aired.
Are they going international, by the way?
Not yet, but there are ways of accessing
there are ways of accessing it, even on an NMT?
Yeah, although it's not exactly, it's in that gray area.
In that gray area, okay, all right, okay. But as you said, I mean, I know you do a lot of this media viewing for stuff available online, whether it's on web services or whatever. But do you see the market really growing for this? Do you see a lot of people getting into this and not being content with just stuff on cable TV? Once
they realize this is the direction it's going, and the enormity of the variety of the content that you can get. This is going to be like, it's going to make what we have now primitive because everything is here. And this is just the first device to actually do this. Later on, they'll probably have fancier things with TV receiver equipment, the satellite feeds and stuff. But this is, for now, for me, the most economic, the most useful device you can buy if you love video and audio. Actually, there's I don't know if you heard about them, but there's a group of Pinoy inventors who made a TV with a built-in hard drive that does this. Wow. They're launching it soon, and I know middle of the year. They're commercially launching it. It's called the group is called Innovent, and I'm mental blocking on the name of their device that they invented. The Illumina. Yeah, there you go. The Illumina. Really? So it's something, it's an all-in-one device with a flat screen TV. Oh, fantastic. And with the interface, with the wireless keyboard, everything. So you can do that. But for those who can't wait and want to get something like this, it's available in the country, although not so easy to find. Yeah, it's made in Malaysia, I believe. It is? Okay. But is it a US-based company, US brand? No, I think Malaysia is the home company. Okay, but it made noise in the US. Yes, when it got released in America, everyone there reviewed it, Engadget, and all these websites talked about it, so it became popular. Right. People shouldn't be scared. We're watching it on a big screen TV here, but you can actually watch it with a regular TV as well. Right, right. It's got inputs for HDMI, for regular RCA, the one you use from the back of the... Actually, we're using a regular RCA now, for the lack of an HDMI cable that we don't have. Yeah, but it's so clear. It's still pretty clear, yeah, exactly. All right, we got some questions from some of our viewers here we want to ask Adel. Any problems you've encountered so far on the device? Okay. Occasionally, you'd have some glitch, like, for example, a very uncooperative file. one of the few that can't be played. Sometimes it hangs.
Okay.
And also, occasionally you find the speed of the device a little pokey because I think it runs on a variant of Linux.
Okay. Some sort of an open source OS.
But the nice part is the manufacturers always listen to the feedback and they update as often as they can.
I was about to ask you that because we know for those who use Apple TVs, they get regular updates from Apple with their OS updates, and they're actually alerted automatically since it's always online. They can alert that an update is available. How are OS updates for the Popcorn Hours?
If you're connected via the Ethernet, you just go to the setup page and say, look for firmware updates, and it will just download and install without any assistance from you.
And from what you know, they are very receptive to feedback and they work on glitches.
The updates come pretty often. The last one was the beginning of the month, actually. So it's as current as it can get.
All right, and there was another question on the screen earlier. How much is a Popcorn Hour?
Okay, it's not. I think the retail price is around 12,000 pesos, but it does not come with a hard drive.
Okay, no hard drive yet.
No
so
hard
it's really
drive
up to you how much you want to juice it up with.
Yeah, you can buy a small 80 gig hard drive, or you can buy a half tera or a 1.5 tera. It depends on how much you want, but that's the basic cost.
All right. And one last pahabol question. Can it surf the web? Can I do my regular web browsing on it? You can.
Yes,
it does have a browser.
Yes, it does. The problem there would be you'll have to connect the usual stuff. You have another keyboard,
the mouse,
because we'll go to a URL using this thing.
You can, but it's a bit of a pain.
Yes, it is.
Not unless you're the champion texter of the Philippines.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. All right. And for more information about this, Adel does have a blog. He has a full review there.
Yes, it's coming up actually.
You haven't posted it up?
I haven't posted it yet.
Okay, but your blog site is?
Oh, it's www.blog.adelgabot.com.
All right. So you'll find it there, more on the Popcorn Hour. Thanks so much, Adel Gabot.
You're welcome.
Good to see you again.
Yes.
We'll see you around.
Yes.
Thank you. Coming up next, we'll groove to the beat of the Bembo Rockers. Keep it here on Mornings at ANC.